All right, guys, we are training out of No Limits Fitness here in Monroe today. It is the first day of 2025, and we are here getting a big pull session in, which means that we got rows, we got pull downs, we got all types of things on the docket here today. So, gonna be a fun one. This is a great place to train out of. It's kind of got that like gritty, old school bodybuilding vibe. So, not quite as polished as Crush It might be, but it's a fun spot to train at, and we don't get to train here very often. So we're going to be hitting some new machines. We're going to be doing some new movements, mixing it up a little bit, but also sticking mostly to the same stuff. So let's get into it. Guys. Okay, come on. So the aim with the barbell rows here is we're doing 2 sets. One is a dead stop where we're focused more on that like explosive, aggressive energy that you don't really see a lot of in bodybuilding, honestly, and like super hypertrophy oriented training. A lot of times we're worried about like being too optimal or just trying to get the absolute perfect alignment to where we neglect to really like train hard and train with the punch behind it. So that's kind of what this is for, doing something old school, something that works, something that grows your back, but then also too is not so focused on, like I'm not trying to take a 5-second eccentric here. I'm not trying to drag it way out. I'm trying to hit it hard and basically drive my elbows back as far as I possibly can, pulling the bar through me. And then this next set is gonna be a little bit more controlled. So we'll try to take the same weight and probably just do a little bit less reps. So we'll work with 275 again, but we're gonna do continuous, which means that we'll get it up and then we're gonna go straight without letting it touch the ground at all. And then after that, we'll move over into some more machine stuff. Ooh. Hey! 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 Gosh! Right! Bruce! Right! Yes! Okay, so we're on to what would be considered like the easier stuff, the machine externally stabilized movements, and this is the first one that I like to hit. And honestly, I love something like a row, but if you have like one machine to pick to where you're gonna try to develop your back to the very best of your ability, I'm picking a chest supported row, because your erectors, your lower back, that's not gonna be a limiting factor here. You're literally just going to be able to lock yourself into the machine and just row until you literally cannot anymore. So there's no reason why you should be stopping these sets, especially on a machine that's as safe as this, with like completing a full rep. You know, you should be able to take it and get like a half a rep or something, take it all the way there. There's no reason you need to be stopping shoulder failure on most things, but especially on something like this where there's basically like no risk of injury, you need to be taking it all the way there. So this is what I like to hit third in the rotation after the pull downs and after the rows, and then we'll get into a little bit more isolated work with biceps, rear delts, and things like that. Gosh. Birds. Oh. So with this is going to be our last row movement of the day. We are doing an isolated lat biased row, which means that the elbow is tracking in nice and close to the torso. I like to twist a little bit into it, but not to the point where I am using my midsection to leverage the movement and really use the momentum to twist it out. Try to keep the same arm that's pulling. I like to put the same foot forward so that it's limiting my ability to really rotate at the trunk. Because if I have my other foot forward like this, I have all of this free range where I can use my midsection, and I don't really want to do that. I want to keep it more on the lat. So for this, it's literally single arm, and I'm going to kind of tuck into it a little bit too, so I'm crunching down a little bit on the oblique and just making sure that it stays nice and tight here. Maybe even open up the palm a little bit too, just so that as the set continues to wear down, you're not watching your elbow drift up and turning it more into an upper back movement.
Ay. Nice. Nice.
All right, so we're finishing off here with biceps. All the heavy rowing back movements are done. We've done barbell rows, we've done chest supported rows, and we just finished up with our first bicep movement over there, which is gonna be the prime preacher curl. And now we are over on the cable stack doing hammer curls with a classic rope attachment. Now, yes, biceps get saved towards the end, and maybe that's why the arms are not massive relative to everything else for me. But in the same breath, they're gonna take a lot less effort than something like a barbell row or like a chest supported row. So you gotta be thinking about when you're creating your split, how much volume you have to allocate and what things you're actually going to be able to recover from versus what stuff is going to be a little bit more fluffy and going to be saved probably towards the end of your sessions if it's not super demanding. Biceps is one of those things for me. So most people are going to be thinking about, oh, maybe do I need an arm day because I feel like my arms are small and I'm subconscious when I look in the mirror. That's probably not going to be the case for most people because they probably need to focus on a lot of those bigger muscles if they're trying to build a overall well-developed physique, especially if they're looking to compete at some point. So be very, very hesitant before you chuck in an arm day into your split and throw a whole day out just for arms. Arms and shoulders I could maybe be convinced of in some instances, but for just arms, probably not the best idea.
Oosh. First.
All right, guys, this is going to be a wrap on the pull day at No Limits here today. We were able to get a lot of productive work done, so make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you in the next one.